Going on, Phantxm Army? It's your boy Phantxm still. It's coming at you for a new video, as you guys can see on the screen and probably by the thumbnail and also the title. Today we're going to be talking about a game that I'm really psyched for. I'm really psyched for this game, and the game is Mafia 3. Now, yesterday, I don't know if you guys know, the 2K team that's developing Mafia 3 actually released a new teaser trailer, and it's probably playing on your screen right about now. It's about 30 seconds. After that, you will see one of the reveal trailers for Mafia 3. It's a little bit longer. It's about 2 minutes, and it'll sort of loop while I'm going through my my general feel about this game and how I think it's going to do once it is released. Now, today, like I said, I'm super psyched for this game. It gets released on October 7th of this year, 2016. We haven't seen an open world game probably since Grand Theft Auto 5, at least that I can remember. In the comments, please let me know if there are any games that I missed. In all seriousness, this game looks really positive to me. From what I've seen from trailers, what I've seen from gameplay videos, what I've seen from just general feel about the game, it's all positive. Now, I want to talk about 4 or 5 different points about what I think about this game and why I think it's going to be a very popular game and people are really going to be drawn to it. I'm going to talk about the setting of the game, characters, storyline missions, and soundtrack. So 4 different points, but I think it covers the gist pretty much of the entire game. Now we're going to start with the setting. Now it's set in New Bordeaux, which is a fictionalized 1960 New Orleans, for better or worse. It has the bayou, it has the city life of New Orleans, but they gave it a different name. So the setting, it takes place in the late 1960s, and it's the fact that they chose New Orleans is just it's really smart, because New Orleans historically has been very historically popular in history. It survived the War of 1812. It survived the Civil War, and it also has a lot of cultural diversity. There's lots of different cultures at work in New Orleans even today. You have the Creole population, which is like the Caribbean type of people, such as Jamaicans, anybody really from the Caribbean. And then you have, obviously, Caucasians or white people, and then you have black people, obviously. And then you have, of course, the setting of the game is you taking a biracial African-American named Lincoln Clay, who I'll get into his character a little bit later, obviously, but you take him and try to get revenge on the Italian mob. So you have, from what I can see, four different cultures coming to work. You have the white culture or Caucasian culture. You have Creole or Caribbean culture, and then you have the black African American culture, and you have the Italian culture. So it's going to be a lot of, and I'm sure there's some cultures that I'm missing, but it's very culturally diverse, and I think it's going to make for a fun setting for a game. Also, like I said, the game takes place in the late 1960s during the Vietnam War. Now, if you know anything about the Vietnam War, it was a huge time of turmoil and divide in America. Not a lot of people in America were hyped about the Vietnam War. Nobody really thought we should be there fighting the Viet Cong. It wasn't our fight, basically. It was the morale or way people thought of the Vietnam War that we weren't even supposed to be there. But I think that'll also make a cool backdrop, because Lincoln Clay, as you can probably tell by the setting of the game, he's a returning Vietnam War veteran. And he's also black, so that could make it could be interesting how they tie that into the story. His war life in the Vietnam War, and then coming back to a broken America who wasn't really for the war in the first place. Next one I'm going to touch on is the characters. Obviously, first and foremost, the main character, Lincoln Clay. He looks like a really interesting character. I mean, just looking through the gameplay videos, looking through trailers and things like that, and reading the backstory of what the game's supposed to hold, the story's supposed to hold. Obviously, he's an orphan. A couple trailers actually hinted that to you. There's, I think, 3 trailers out right now about the game. Then they released this teaser trailer that they just released yesterday. So we get it. He's an orphan. He's also a returning Vietnam War veteran. He's basically thrown back into the mob. So I think before he left for Vietnam, he was part of this black mob, and this is sort of his family, kids he grew up with, probably in the orphanage or just around New Bordeaux, where the game takes place. And they're actually murdered, and he's left for dead and found by a priest. And he finds out that this mob boss. I forget his name. I'll put his name in the description. Yeah, I'll put his name in the description. Anyways, the mob boss basically kills his entire family, and that's how the game starts. So he's basically trying to take revenge on the people that killed his family and the mob that he had friends in and that he was a part of. And also, like I said, he's returning to a country that didn't agree with the war that he was in. The Vietnam War is one of the most controversial wars in history, just for the sheer fact that a lot of people in America, in North America, felt that we had no business being there, and it was really looked down upon when soldiers came home, that they weren't accepted, it was hard for them to get jobs and things like that. So it could be interesting how that'll all tie in into building Lincoln's character over the course of the game. So it should be interesting. Also, the entire Mafia, Italian mob boss is a life of crime, so it's going to make for some interesting missions and interesting character development of Lincoln, of when he confronts the people that, going down the line, I'm sure it'll go from person to person. It'll go from like low level mob lieutenants, and then up, obviously probably ending the boss fight with the guy that actually killed his family and the people that he was closest to. Probably, like I said, his friends he grew up with in the orphanage or just around New Bordeaux. So that should be interesting. Also, the ancillary characters, like I said, the New Orleans setting, or New Bordeaux as they call it, which is obviously the fictionalized New Orleans, it's cultural history of New Orleans. The characters will be unique to both the time period and the cultural identity of New Orleans itself. So like I said, you're going to get a lot of different cultures all clashing in one city and around one character. So it should be interesting, the type of characters you see and interact with throughout the game. It should be really unique and really diverse, so I'm really looking forward to that as well. Thirdly, the storyline and the missions. Like I said, the story of Mafia 3 is all built around revenge. Lincoln lost his family. All the members of the mob family he was in have been killed, and now he's out for payback. He wants to avenge the death of his friends and family that he knew before he left for the war. He's going to be on a war path. As you can see from the teaser trailer, he's out to make amends, and he's out to sort of rectify what happened to his family and friends. Also, with the storyline and missions, the combat system is different. I sort of say it sort of reminds me of both Grand Theft Auto and Hitman. And what I mean by that is that you can take, with Lincoln as your character, you can take either an aggressive, go in guns blazing, shoot 'em up type of gameplay, or you can take the Hitman side, which you can also, in Hitman, you can also do the aggressive side, but Hitman's more about the stealth approach, and you can do that in Mafia 3 as well. The aggressive type of gameplay is obviously going to be more guns blazing and things like that, but the stealth approach is going to be more about outsmarting your enemies, even though the gameplay of Mafia 3 and every Mafia game before this has been primarily based on the gunplay and exacting revenge and things like that. The last point about the storyline and missions is that you're going to be able, when you finish a mission, even though they're non-playable characters, you're going to be able to interrogate non-playable characters in order to gain new info about your enemies. So every time you complete a mission, you're going to learn something new from these people that's going to help you further the mission and further the game even more so had you not talked to them. So that's going to be very cool. And lastly, I want to talk about the soundtrack and the atmosphere of the game. But through multiple sources, and also when they revealed the game, I think they revealed the game back in August of last year. It was at an E3 event, I think. They said that there was going to be the music and feel of 1960s America in New Orleans. So that right there is really cool, because if you don't have a good soundtrack and you don't have good music to back the game, you're going to feel like you're out of place and the game's not set within the time period that the setting is. So the fact that they're adding music and sounds and instruments and everything like that from 1960s America and New Orleans, it's just going to make the game feel so much more real and have you so much more immersed in the game itself, that I think it's really going to make a difference. Had it not been there, I don't think the game would be as good. Anyways, guys, this is what I think about the game. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. I don't think there's going to be one game this year, at least in the genre, even if they make another open world game, like even if Grand Theft Auto comes out with something, later this year or fall, I don't think it's probably going to top. I probably will get both, even if something like Grand Theft Auto, other than Mafia 3, if something else drops, I might get it just to play it and see how it compares. But I really think that Mafia 3 is going to be a great game, and I think they're doing something really impressive here. that not a lot of people are going to do, is taking it to a city that we really haven't seen many games in, which is New Orleans, or New Bordeaux as it's called in the game. It's just a refictionalized reimagining of New Orleans itself. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, whether you're going to buy the game, whether you think it's going to be a good game, whether you think it's going to be a crappy game. I want to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments what you think, both of what I think is good about the game and what you think is good about the game or bad about the game, because with everything there's good and bad. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed my 2 cents, and please like, subscribe, and comment to my channel. It really helps things out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of everything. Anyways, this is your boy Phantxm. Thank you guys all for watching. Take care, be safe, and I will see you guys later.